welcome back to Emotional Support Cookie. I'm Dada.
I'm Mama.
And we did take a little bit of a break there. We kind of missed a week.
It was a very hectic week. We went back to work and our son really had a hard time, I think, going back to daycare, so we just couldn't get ourselves to really stay up and do this after he went to sleep.
It was definitely a change in routines for us. We were definitely worn out. I don't know who took it harder for the end of summer, baby or us. Pretty sure it was us.
Yeah.
Although he bounces back better than we do. His adjustment was probably much better than ours, but we are adjusting and we're trying to get back on
schedule.
Yep. Trying to get the cookies going again. So we are back. So, Mama.
Good morning.
Or
day.
Hello again.
Good day.
I'm not sure what time we'll post this or what day we'll post this.
So, I don't know. We're talking about generational trauma, and I know that's a very scary topic.
It's definitely a heavier topic.
Yeah.
Some have much more trauma or much bigger traumas than others. And it varies.
Just trying to not hand it down to our son and being cognizant about it every day. And it can be very exhausting, but at the same time, it could feel freeing because now you know that you'll never have to go through that again.
I think, and that's yeah. I think you got it. I mean, we don't want to instill any sort of scare or any sort of traumas into him and things that we went through. But I think a tricky part of that is acknowledging or even understanding what is generational trauma or what you have that is generational trauma, because it's not so clear cut for some people. Like me, for instance, we were trying to figure out what to say for this episode. I try to talk about what to say for this episode. I really didn't know what to go for because no childhood is perfect. Everybody has something. There's some form of generational trauma, and I guess it just depends.
And obviously it does get passed down from generation to generation because either they went through abuse as a child as well, and then they're trying to survive as parents now, and it just, I mean, some things we can't blame them for. It's just, I don't know, they're trying to cope as well.
Yeah.
So regardless of any trauma that I went through, because I feel like I went through periods of it, I still think my mom was a phenomenal mom, and she tried her best.
And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's what we want, is we want to just do our best, and we're going to make mistakes. We're going to do things. In trying to like I said, we were trying to figure out what to talk about or what was our traumas. We had a little bit of a discussion.
At least one piece.
Yeah, at least one trauma. We don't want
we don't want to be here for 2 hours.
So there might be more to talk about. Yeah. But like one that I thought about for me is, and actually Mama pointed it out too, we thought about the same thing at the same time, is I kind of have a thing.
He can't promise.
Promises. Yeah, I have a thing with promises where it's one of like triggering almost. I can't, or I refuse to make promises. And this is one of those that I feel was kind of an accidental trauma. It just hit me the wrong time at the wrong age or something. My father had a thing where he was like, well, don't promise me something that if you're not going to follow through, or don't make a promise or something that you can't keep, because that's the worst thing you could do. And that like instilled in me that a promise is one of the biggest things you could do. And so
he told you that.
Yes. Okay. And it's just one of those things where, I don't know, I guess it was the age that it happened. I was young. I can't remember when it was, but I distinctly remember being, breaking a promise is the worst thing you could do. And that just instilled itself so deep in me that any little thing, you're like, you promise? And no, I can't promise you. I won't promise you, out of the fear of something happening, anything happening, and I break that promise. Like it, it scares me. It honestly, like,
So he didn't promise you something, he didn't do it.
no, not necessarily that he didn't promise me something, but it was more like I shouldn't be making promises I can't keep because, but I'm pretty sure there were some things where he said, well, I can't promise you that because I don't know. And I don't want to lie to you, or I don't want to break a promise to you. Like, it was one of those, it wasn't just like a one-time thing, I'm sure. But it was one of the things he brought up, I don't want to promise you this and not follow through. Because it's a terrible thing to break a promise. I don't want to break a promise to you, type of thing. And it just, like I said, it might have been one of those accidental or unintended traumas where it instilled itself in my head that, oh no, I'm the worst person alive if I break a promise. And so it scares me to make any sort of promise out of the fear that something will come up, or I forget, or something will happen accidentally that I break a promise. And it's one of those things that, again, it's accidental. Or it's not intended. Or I guess no trauma is really intended usually. But I know that it's something that now I'm like, well, and something that you bring up too is like, are we going to traumatize him with this? If we say this, is he going to start thinking like this? Are we going to traumatize? And
And it was so cute because, I mean, not cute. It was cute when our son, okay, so I know about this thing with Dada about promises, and then our son at night, I don't know what we were talking about, but he goes, "You promised, Dada?" And he put his little pinky, and I'm like, I don't know if Dada does promises, and this is where I feel that he kind of broke that generational thing, because he put his pinky out as well, and he did say, "I promise," and I think that was big.
yeah, I mean, like, I have to not fear them so much, and know that, if something falls or falters, it happens, and not to hold myself like in such a high, or such a low point, I guess, if it happens. And try to, show him it's okay. It's definitely a tricky situation that I still deal with. I'm in my late 30s, and I still have promise issues, I guess.
And I think it's okay because, promises are big because you're promising something, and if you don't go through it, will it affect him
I think
in the end?
it couples in with my wanting to be a people pleaser. So thinking that I let someone down with something like that is coupled with the always wanting to be a people pleaser. I think
And
is
is
what
that
really,
another generational trauma?
probably. I don't know where that. I mean, it's just,
He hasn't dived in as deep.
I haven't dived into myself that deeply now.
I've been through therapy sessions, not quite as often as I would like to anymore. Um, but one of my big traumas, I would say that kind of, I guess, not haunts me, but I keep thinking about is when I was younger. I usually think of not the age, but the grade I was in. I was in fifth, sixth grade because I had moved back from. My mom had lost her job when we were freer, so we had to move back to Laredo and back to this really small house. And I guess she was having issues with paying bills and stuff, and she had a hard time kind of explaining that to my dad or voicing her concerns, and instead she would yell and stuff. And she would say, "I'm leaving already. I'm gonna go kill myself. I'm leaving." and she would scream it in Spanish, right? And I would start crying, and I would run after her, knocking on the door of the car, and sometimes she would let me in, and sometimes no, she would leave. When she would let me in, it was scarier because she was driving recklessly, super fast, and I thought, well, if she dies, at least I die with her.
So much.
And
Yeah, it's okay. It's a heavier thing. I said everybody carries some trauma, some heavier than others.
and so now it's so funny because I can't have CK wear shoes in the house because I automatically think he's gonna leave.
And it triggers that
Yeah.
emotional. It triggers that
Hmm.
memory. Early on, she told me, you can't be walking around the house with shoes. And I'm like, me sometimes it's because I don't like walking around barefoot, and I have socks, and we have a lot of dogs,
And
so there's a
his
lot of dog hair.
sister also wears shoes in the house.
Uh huh.
So I think it's just him. So yeah, I explained it to him that no, you can't. I can't, like, it triggers my anxiety really bad. And I guess that's why I have so much anxiety when I'm driving by myself or when I'm driving. It's hard. So I don't ever want,
To put him in something like that.
yeah, I don't want to scare him ever like that.
And you won't. You won't, because I think you're very cognizant of it. You understand what you went through. You know what you don't want for him, and you very very selective and careful in the things you say and the things you do around him. More so than I am. Like you like, no, we can't do this. We can't do. No, what if he thinks that? Like, you're very aware, and I don't think you should worry about putting him in that situation, because I don't ever see you doing or acting out in such a way. I don't think I've ever seen you reach that point.
No, I'm pretty patient, I'd say, with him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and so it's hard. Like, I obviously he doesn't wear shoes in the house, but
Yeah, yeah.
if he were, I mean, I don't want him to be scared of wearing shoes or be scared.
All right.
And that's why I tell Dad that if we're gonna leave somewhere, I never want to just leave. Like, I know sometimes we'll leave him with grandma, and he'll be like, no, let's just leave because
Mm-hmm.
that way he doesn't see us. No, like, I want him to know, like, we're gonna be back. We're just gonna go somewhere really quick. But I want him to know that we're leaving him with someone who's safe. And
We didn't just disappear.
yeah, because that's also something scary, like just disappearing.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think at the end of the day, having retrospective thoughts like this, thinking about what didn't work for you as a child, what messed you up as a child, and coming to terms with it and acknowledging it, and that way moving forward and realizing, okay, I didn't like this. This was not good for me, or I'm like this because this happened, or this was said, or this was done, and knowing that I don't want that experience for my child helps you be a better
parent.
parent. Understanding what kind of parent you don't want to be, or what kind of mistakes you don't want to make, is very important. And I think it is, I mean, not even just parenting, honestly, and just
In
in
general.
in general, understanding mistakes that were made growing up and how to avoid those, those pitfalls, and just being a better person, or
And I
being.
think it also helps you be a better spouse, because I
Yeah.
also told Dada that I didn't want to be the kind of person that would, if we were to fight or something, one of us would just leave,
Mm-hmm.
because it also still hit me with like my mom leaving and me staying at home thinking, is she dead or is she not coming back ever for me?
Right.
So when that triggers my anxiety, and even just talking about it now, my heart is racing. And I don't
As
want
much
to.
as you know, or I don't say as much as, but as even if we were, and I know that our big arguments are few and far between, but even in those moments where things get very heated, and I just want to step away, I am aware of these of your, your traumas, and I am aware of your triggers. And as mad as or as exhausted or frustrated as I get, I can't bring myself to walk away. Even though I know the best thing for me is I need to leave and clear my head, I can't, which is kind of a weird thing because then it puts us in this, okay, well, I'm just going to have to sit here and stew because I can't go and vent and walk away, because I know as much as it may feel like that's what I need, I know it makes things worse for you, which will mean that you can't cool down, which means that this will never cool down.
I mean, he does go to the other room.
Yeah.
Going to another room is fine.
Yeah, going to another room I think is
And we
our
try not to
happy
fight
medium.
in front of baby,
Right.
because
Yeah.
we just don't. That's not for him. It's not dealing with him. And sometimes me and Dada, we talk a lot. And sometimes we will
joke.
get into it.
Or no, even when we just joke, argue,
Yeah, he'll be like, "Stop
if
arguing."
if our voices get elevated, or if we joke around too loudly, he just yells, "Stop fighting!" And it's like, we're not fighting, we're joking, we're just talking loud. Mama has a very loud voice.
Yeah, my teacher voice comes out a lot.
Teacher voice sneaks out, and so he's like, "Stop fighting!" And we're not fighting. So he's a little referee there too, make sure nothing happens. Well, like I said, we haven't had any big fights.
Knock on them woods.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being more cognizant, and I don't want to say that my mom was a horrible mom or that my dad was any better, because there was trauma there too. He did leave us when we were younger. But anyway, my mom was amazing, and she tried her best to do what she could for us. And she did go through a lot of trauma herself, which I won't talk about because she passed away, and I am not going to put words in.
Right, you don't want to spill her secrets.
Right, I don't want to.
It's not our place to say.
It's not my place. I'm just telling you my truth and what I went through.
Parents, children, at the end of the day, we're all people.
Right.
People are flawed inherently, and so nobody's perfect.
And I'm sure baby will come out later saying that we traumatized him.
Yeah, we did something,
Oh, like when you threw him up, carrying him.
Yeah, there's that. So,
and now, for a little bit, he was like, "Don't throw me before you carried him."
When we let him watch an episode of Ninja Turtles that traumatized him with alien squirrels, and now he has a phobia of squirrels.
Which I think he finally forgot.
He has, more or less, but he still says that he doesn't like squirrels.
Oh yeah.
And it's just the weirdest animal to fear. But I knew what he saw when he mentioned that the Ninja Turtles. I was like, I remember the alien squirrel thingy, and okay, I can see how that's traumatizing.
Yeah, and now I'm telling
there's accidental traumas.
Dad, like we need to not show him these kind of movies.
It was a cartoon.
I don't care. You need to scope it first.
There was mistakes made, but I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't realize that's what he was watching, but
I think he forgets he's only 3.
Sometimes.
Okay, well, I hope
there's a little that's a nice little unloading there of some little traumas. There's more to dive into, but we don't need to dive into all that. But I think we just wanted to acknowledge that, or mention, generational traumas is always something that's there. And we all have it at obviously in different intensities, different experiences, but they do shape who we are and how we do things. And acknowledging what doesn't work helps us do better.
Yeah, just do better. I think that's the important part.
That's
Just be
that's
better, do better,
that's what we want.
um, and you'll be good. I mean, no one's perfect. Everyone's gonna
Forgive
make
yourself when
mistakes.
you do make those
Yes.
mistakes. Don't hold it against just
And don't be afraid to apologize to your child. I think that's
yes.
good to
Yeah.
for them to know that, you know what, my mom, she would say sorry because she would do this or that, or my dad. I
Hmm.
think it's important. It's human.
Accountability and all that is something that definitely need to instill, but I think that's a whole conversation for another cookie.
Okay, well,
Thank you for coming back and seeing us, and hopefully we'll try to stay the consistency, you know,
yes.
of even baking times between episodes.
Baking time. Oh, and I do want to say hello to our biggest fan, my mother-in-law.
Hi, Mom.
She thought we blocked her. But no, we were
Oh,
just really tired.
yeah.
Anyway,
Well, this has been Emotional Support Cookie. I'm Dada.
and I'm Mama.
Hope you all have a
Bye.
great week.
Have a
Bye.
great week.